and welcome to a Media-eval bonus episode. I have Mireille Pardon with me once again.
Hello, it's good to be back.
And since especially, actually, we are together in the same place in person.
Amazing.
But also because we found some really crucial content related to the film Redbad that we felt it was necessary to share.
Yes.
So Jonathan Banks, aka Mike Ehrmantraut, because that's the only thing anybody knows him as, and that's not fair, I'm sure he's a very good actor.
An expert on the Middle Ages.
Yeah, he did an interview talking about his deep interest in the medieval world.
And we love when people are interested in the Middle Ages.
Usually.
They share their knowledge.
Usually we love that.
With interviewers.
Sometimes we might not. So he's asked, how did you get involved in this? What about the material interested you?
It was brought to me. What interested me is the whole period of history. I love the Dark Ages. The idea as the Catholic Church moved north with the idea of if you could turn a warlord, then you could turn his followers and his tribe. Even when Rome was sacked, Alaric was a Christian, the 4th century Visigoth ruler, and had declared Rome a free city. And, of course, it was sacked and raped and pillaged. Anyhow, I love that period of history. The Dark Ages are great. There's a book that William Manchester wrote called A World Lit Only by Fire that I've read a couple of times. So when this project came up, I thought, this is great, I really want to do it.
So he clearly has an interest in the period, and fortunately it keeps getting better. When it was remarked that there haven't been a lot of films made about this period, he commented, not only are there not many films about this period, but there aren't many books written about it. You can tell because...
That's definitely my recollection of grad school.
Yeah, we didn't really read anything,
not
there
many
really
books
aren't
to
any
read.
books. When you go to the book fairs at medieval conferences, it's just these huge cavernous rooms with like 2 books in them.
Which
That's
really
about
makes
how
it
it works.
easy to have a grasp of current scholarship
Oh,
on
yeah.
the issue.
Yeah.
There are only a handful of books.
Exactly. The Dark Ages were the Dark Ages. From the time Rome fell to the Renaissance, trade stopped on the Mediterranean, which I guess means I do not have a book.
Yeah, I really regret to inform everyone who studies trade on the medieval Mediterranean.
That
What have
apparently
they been
that didn't
studying?
exist.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
What frauds?
Libraries were burned. 1,000 years later, at the beginning of the Renaissance, the finest roads that people traveled on were still the roads the Romans had built. It wasn't until Constantinople became Istanbul that some of the Greek manuscripts were unearthed, or they would have been lost to us. I guess we have forgotten about the Arabic translations of the Islamic world.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big deal with, like, any medieval survey course, but, you know, that's fine.
Obviously, I have a smattering of knowledge about the period.
I mean, depending on how you define the term smattering...
Yeah, it's a vague term.
Yeah, I mean, there's some words here which are real medieval things.
He's read a handful of books.
A handful of books. I mean, those are the only books that exist,
Well, yeah.
so it's fine.
Yeah.
So he was then asked, how long have you had that interest? I love to read good history. And there are great history writers that almost write like novelists. It's not dry, it's wonderful. And of course, we're walking knee-deep in blood. Oh, okay, sorry, I should have read ahead of the line I was reading. Okay, wow. And of course, we're walking knee-deep in blood wherever we walk in the world. So, it's interested in me for a long time. I can relate to that. Knee-deep in blood sounds fun. This is why it's interested me. With the progress we've made and how fortunate you and I were to be born when we were born as far as healthcare and running water and other things. I mean, healthcare.
Do we have healthcare?
Yeah, I was like, could be some improvements there.
I mean, in the Netherlands and Belgium, they do.
Oh, that's true. Yes,
Yeah.
That is accurate. There are still elements in this world that would drive us right back into the Dark Ages. What is the implication of that? That's very eerie.
I don't know. I don't know what he actually means. I think
it's very ominous.
So based on the next comment, I think he's maybe talking about religion.
Oh, okay. That's what's going to drive us back.
Yeah,
into the
so he
Dark
says
Ages.
that there was
Got
some
it.
controversy when the film came out in Europe over the depiction of Christianity, and he responded, oh please, probably at the base of most faiths are humanity and goodwill and loving your fellow man. It's when the interpreters turn it into an aberration and that it becomes violent and ugly and murderous. And it becomes about, you submit to my will and you're going to hell, and I'm going to kill you before you go to hell. I want to make it clear that if we're not careful, we can be thrown into another dark age if we don't blow ourselves off the face of the earth before then.
You know, I didn't realize that Redbad was such an important film and warning us about all these modern themes.
Yeah, it's crucial to talk about the importance of religion in modern society, and that's why...
And specifically the film Redbad, though.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's why baptism is depicted as waterboarding.
Exactly. I mean, is that not how baptism works? Because I'm not baptized, so I don't
I'm
don't
also
know.
not
I was
baptized.
about to say, you don't know.
I'm Jewish.
I have, to be fair, seen someone get baptized, and it didn't look like they were getting waterboarded, but I don't know. Maybe that was an exception.
I saw somebody get baptized in Italy because
Was it waterboarding, though?
It did not seem like waterboarding, but that was a baby.
Yeah, they probably go easier on the babies.
Yeah.
That's fair. Then he gets asked about shooting the scenes in Europe and then others in Belgium, blah, blah, blah. He's been there before. So then he was asked, there were a lot of battle scenes in this film, and you had 8,000 extras. This was a bloody and fearsome period of time, and things did not, quote, progress without a lot of bloodshed. And he didn't spare that in making this film. Banks responds, yes, and it's not gratuitous. You can't be too bloody. You can't be too bloody, Sarah, about this period. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming when peasants are starved, brutalized, and left out to die in the elements. The one thing you can't depict because we've denuded... sorry. Denuded is an excellent word. The one thing you can't depict because we've denuded most of the planet, that area was dense with forests. So, if a knight decided he wanted to take you off, you may not have been farther from your home than 2 hills away because the forest was dense. There was a chance you'd never find your way home again.
I love the idea that that's what the knights are doing, is they're just picking you up and dropping you off in the middle of the forest and just leaving you there.
Yeah.
They're not killing you.
No.
They're not killing you. They're not, like,
not
otherwise
like
bothering
you for any reason.
They're just picking you up and dropping you off into the middle of the
Medieval
forest.
knights are truly the tricksters of the medieval world. that's the usual thing associated with
That's how I think about
trickster
them.
characters, naturally.
The association instead the interviewer has that they respond that they're like tribal gangs, to which Banks continued, absolutely. There were 5 different crusades.
5, yes.
I'm curious as to which ones he's counting. Saladin and Richard the Lionhearted were bloody, horrible guys. Roll could have filmed blood for 3 hours and it still wouldn't have been an exaggeration.
But we know how he would have filmed the film.
Education stopped in the Dark Ages. I guess that is another area of scholarship on education and the foundation of the university.
Yeah, I was about to say, all those people who study medieval universities.
They
I don't know what they've been studying.
I don't know. I guess this is another book that we didn't need to have read.
True, yes. Yeah, I think I had a medieval education and university section on my orals.
I absolutely had a medieval education and university section.
What books could have possibly been in that
There are no
section?
books.
Yeah. Oh.
It's just like a 1-page thing that says none.
Education stopped. That's the one thing you need to know. When did education start? When did it stop?
There was no repercussion for murder.
Well, so this is a problem considering my dissertation was about resolutions of homicide in 15th century Flanders. So this kind of means my dissertation doesn't exist.
Well, yeah, because as he continues, there was no law.
Yeah, I mean, that means all of legal history doesn't exist. So I really wonder what I study.
Yeah, I mean, I do intersections.
Am I a fraud?
Yeah, I mean, same, because I also do intersections between legal and economic history.
See,
and since there's neither law nor trade.
You're also a fraud, is what we're learning. Yeah.
I must have forged all my documents.
It's actually very impressive that we have jobs, considering we're both frauds and our research is based on nothing, because there was no law and there was no trade on the Mediterranean.
But on the other hand, we're clearly very good at document forgery, because we think we have all of these documents that record law and trade.
You know, actually, that's significantly more impressive than my research existing.
I think that's a really good
forging
skill.
all of these documents.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, this has been great for my self-esteem.
Yeah. Another book about the Dark Ages is Thomas Cahill's Sailing the Wine Dark Sea, Why the Greeks Matter. In the 1400s, the Black Plague took out 1/3 of the population of Europe. He was so close.
He's so close. Yeah. I mean, in a lot of these things, it's like he's saying things that have, like, words about the Middle Ages.
Yeah.
They're just wrong.
I mean, part of it is that he's clearly reading a certain type of popular history book.
Yeah.
And it's really their fault and not his.
Yes, that is completely fair. Because, I mean, also, his job isn't to, like, know things about the Middle Ages.
No,
his job is to, like, be a good actor, and, like, he does that.
He's a great actor, yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, maybe this is a lesson about, like, public history.
Yeah, that I think it does say that public history is important because this is the image of the Middle Ages, that people who have a general interest in it are more likely to get, because they're not reading
also,
our books and articles.
And the fact that, like, he is genuinely interested in it. He's not, like, the kind of person who's, like, very dismissive of the Middle Ages, or, like, oh, like, history doesn't matter, or, like, we shouldn't study it. Like, he wants to know things about it.
I think he would like to know that there was trade in law.
Yes!
In the Middle Ages.
And there were, in fact, repercussions for murder. Like, everywhere! What? Oh my gosh. No repercussions for murder ever. No.
He also might want to know the
nothing.
minor correction that the Black Plague took out a third of the population of Europe in the 1300s.
Yeah, that also might be helpful.
But,
That's a quick fix. That's a quick fix.
Not everybody's good with dates.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's 100 years off, but that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Oh dear. This also was just sort of a whirlwind tour of, like, different misconceptions about the Middle Ages, though, so that's also fun. Like, he hit on a lot of different things.
Yeah, and as I said, he clearly has an interest in the period, and that it's interesting because that clearly inspired him to make this movie, which otherwise has no American actors.
Yeah, like, that's true.
Yeah.
And that was, like, kind of a fun surprise to see him in it.
Yeah, I mean, so that's an actor. But yeah, they approached him, and he said he was interested because he's interested in the, quote, Dark Ages.
Yes, the Dark Ages. No trade, no education, no law.
So, yes, Mr. Manx, if you would like to contact us and learn more about some of the new scholarship coming out on medieval education and trade and law, we would be delighted to have a further conversation.
I really enjoyed seeing you in this movie. I thought you did a great job. Not that, like, my opinion matters. Yeah, me, the great, film critic over here. But I thought you did a good job.
You did a great job.
Good work.
You did a great Mike Ehrmantraut.
Yeah, I really like your work when you aren't giving interviews about the Middle Ages.
So thank you, Mireille, for joining me once again.
Thank you for having me for this fun little bonus episode.
Yes.
It's always a joy.
And thank you all for listening to Media-eval. Bye.